Hi, do you know what actually happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370? In March 2014, another question was added to the list. Where is Malaysia Airlines Flight 370? It may seem strange to think that people could have lost an entire airplane. But read on, and you'll find that's just the first of many unanswered questions in this case. Let's explore more in the video. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 took off at 12:41 a.m. on March 8, 2014. It departed on a Boeing 777 from Kuala Lumpur with 227 passengers and 12 crew members on board. The plane was meant to land in Beijing the next morning, but it never arrived. What happened? No one knows with certainty. Many conspiracy theories have formed around the mystery. These have been largely discredited. However, experts have a few educated guesses about what actually happened to the plane and its passengers. Let's start with the facts. MH370 reached an altitude of 35 feet at 1:01 a.m. At 1:19, someone in the cockpit, likely the pilot or co-pilot, made verbal contact with air traffic controllers. They said, "Good night, Malaysian 370. 2 minutes later, the plane's transponder was switched off. At around the same time, MH370 changed course. Originally heading northeast, it made a turn and began traveling south and west. It disappeared from Malaysian radar after 2:15 a.m. It was later found that the plane was detected by satellite until 8:11 a.m., after which it disappeared completely. What happened to MH370 and the 239 people on board? Many people have worked to answer this question since 2014. The search for the plane started in the South China Sea. However, it wasn't until July 2015 that the first sign of the plane was found, a 6-feet-long piece of airfoil. It washed up on the island of Reunion. Upon inspection, it was found to come from a Boeing 777, and serial numbers revealed it was from MH370. Since then, more debris thought to be from MH370 has washed ashore. They have been found in Tanzania, Mozambique, South Africa, Madagascar, and Mauritius. Based on the locations of these pieces, experts now believe MH370 crashed somewhere in the South Indian Ocean. The plane's passengers came from China, Indonesia, Australia, India, France, the US, Iran, Ukraine, Canada, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Russia, and Taiwan. Despite the efforts of people across the globe to unravel this mystery, many questions are still unanswered. Why did the plane change course? Why was the transponder switched off? When did it crash, and exactly where? Was it the work of a hijacker or one of the pilots? Some of these questions may never be answered. Still, many continue to search for answers. They hope to locate more pieces of MH370, including the plane's 2 black boxes. They hope these could hold the key to understanding what truly happened to the missing plane. What do you think happened to MH370? How do you think we can stop it from happening again? Put your thinking cap on and start looking for creative solutions. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to solve one of the 21st century's greatest mysteries. The investigation. Sinead Baker at Insider says that by the time a rescue effort was attempted, a search from 34 ships and 28 airplanes took place, all under the umbrella of 7 countries. The area searched was the South China Sea, between Malaysia and Vietnam, but the plane could not be found even with an unprecedented search mission. And despite the fact that a Boeing 777 is supposed to be easily tracked. On January 29, 2015, the Malaysian government officially declared the disappearance an accident. After the initial international investigation, Australia launched the most strenuous effort to find the plane. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau launched an underwater search. It would ultimately be unsuccessful 3 years after the crash, and after the Australian government spent $160 million. Another group of independent engineers and scientists founded the Independent Group. After the Australian government failed to find out what happened, an American company named Ocean Infinity also started looking for the plane. This search was also ultimately unsuccessful. The search today. LandJewish documents the journey of an American man named Blaine Gibson. Gibson had a quest to find remains of Malaysia Flight 370, and through the years, he has found debris from the plane on beaches across the Indian Ocean. It was confirmation of an uncomfortable truth. Everyone on the flight was dead, as much as people wanted to hope they were alive. It also was not put down gently but shattered violently whenever it stopped flying. On July 29, 2015, Gibson found a piece of washed-up, 6-foot airfoil on Reunion, a French island on the Indian Ocean about 550 kilometers east of Madagascar. Gibson finding the second piece of the plane was even more bizarre. He had a lifelong, bucket list goal of visiting every country in the world. He had a hunch another piece of the plane would pop up at the coast of Mozambique, and sure enough, it did when he searched for it. At northeastern Madagascar, Gibson helped find even more debris for the plane. The mother lode of the plane turned up on a beach. Gibson told locals he would pay for debris from the plane, and sure enough, he paid $40 for one piece of plane, enough to fund a day-long bender for a village. Today, Gibson is responsible for the discovery of about a third of the wreckage from Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. He has also found backpacks and purses, but they have not revealed any significant information. What his discovery found was the plane flew for 6 hours without stopping. According to Tony Shepard at The Guardian, authorities stopped searching for the plane in 2017. But other ordinary people, experts, and amateurs, including Gibson and aerospace engineer Richard Godfrey, believes the plane crashed 4,000 meters deep and 2 kilometers west of Perth, Australia in the Indian Ocean. While official investigations are no longer underway, many parts of the Indian Ocean are still unexplored. Peter Foley, who oversaw the ATSB search, is still involved in searching for the plane, even though he is retired. He is optimistic the mystery behind the plane will be discovered, as will the remaining debris from the plane. Takeaways. It's important to note many families are still grieving the loss of their families. But it's still important to know what happened to Malaysia Flight 370 so a tragedy like it could be averted in the future. Yes, the Malaysian government could have been more transparent in the investigation. Maybe more information could be found in Kuala Lumpur for people like Blaine Gibson in case the Malaysian police know more than they have dared to say. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was a flashpoint in poor Malaysian-Chinese relations, given so many Chinese nationals died on the plane. There's a lot at stake for the families of those who passed, but there's also a lot at stake for every government involved. To prevent such a tragedy from happening again, some want there to be better aircraft monitoring, but the current technology is still limited. While improvements in satellite tracking systems can monitor an aircraft every 15 minutes using GPS data and other tracking metrics, the fact remains this just improves the probability for finding a lost aircraft. It doesn't promise 100% success. With all the technological advancements of today's day and age, with how far we've come in 2022, it's almost unfathomable that a commercial airline carrying over 200 passengers and crew just disappeared. That's unfathomable nature is the reason so many different conspiracy theory and somewhat plausible theories have emerged. For now, it might be best to regard Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 as a freak accident and tragedy instead of jumping to conclusions. The reality is we might never know more, as frustrating as that is. We hope you like this video. If you like, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for interesting videos.